I wanted to set the season house in the Balkans just because I wanted it close to everyone else in Europe. Human trafficking and sex slavery is a worldwide epidemic, it's a global concern. However, I didn't want to set it thousands of miles away. I wanted to set it so close that people realise this is just happening just around the corner. These girls are trafficked from European country to country. The season house isn't inspired by any particular event or time in history. Human trafficking and sex slavery has been around since day one. I think the big crime is that it is still here today in this day and age, that girls are still trafficked from country to country and traded as a commodity and as a piece of meat. The direction of the actors, especially with the younger girls, it wasn't too hard. As they were young girls, they were able to put their minds into. They felt free to really get into the mind of a girl that is in that situation. The filming of the rape scenes, they're always difficult to watch, but we wanted to make it as realistic as possible. And for the girls that were playing the rape victims, they kind of felt it was important to really give an accurate representation and how real it is. So, for them, it never felt sort of cheap or exploitive. That was never the film we wanted to make. The girls knew that, I knew that, and yeah, it's hard to watch, but we all agreed that we wanted it as realistic as possible. Physical mishaps really only happened to Rosie, who played Angel. She pretty much set her hair on fire. She'd always be getting covered in scrapes and bruises and cuts, and coming through vents and cutting herself, falling off walls. Everything would pretty much happen to her. I think at some point she accidentally stabbed a couple of actresses with a syringe that was left in her pocket. So yeah, she was always doing things to each other. Every day was a new cut or wound. We never really changed the story. The only thing that we would sometimes do is change dialogue. We would block out a scene and maybe feel this character wouldn't say this or another character wouldn't really say that. So we were constantly working with dialogue, but as terms of structure and story, we kind of kept to what was scripted. With Rosie, she was an amazing find. She really gave the film the weight that it needed. Her performance was wonderful. We went through 120 girls to find her, and she was very much in the end of the looking for a girl. And she was brilliant. She had the physical characteristics, but also she had the sort of fragile look of Angel, the emotionally broken side of Angel, which is something I was really looking for. I sometimes imagine what it'd be like without Rosie. It'd be quite a different film, but thankfully we found her and she was brilliant in it. The house is quite hard to find. It was an old children's hospital and it was very bright and lovely and uplifting cartoons painted on the walls, and my production designer Caroline Story, she came along and completely renovated it, completely painted it. The ending was quite important in that I really wanted Gorman, played by Sean Pertwee, to get trapped in this little tunnel. Rosie had spent all of her time in these little mazes and tunnels and gaps in the wall. So yeah, I kind of wanted to leave the end sort of open to what people kind of read into it. In the future, I'm making a transition to full-time directing. There's a lot of stories I want to tell, a lot of films I want to make. So yeah, I'm going from prosthetics and making a transition into directing full-time.
It's gone. There is nothing outside these walls for you to believe in anymore. You will work for me. You will learn how to be kind to my friends. Your life now is here with me.
We were passing, so I thought we'd come and use your amenities.
Whatever you need, you know that.
I have just lost one of my best fucking men.
And I just lost a girl!